Hello, this is Scott Smith with a YouTube version of the Saturday service. Again, as a reminder, if you didn't catch the last video, we're putting some things behind a curtain, a little bit of a veil, in response to the coming year. I just feel like this is the way that I'm going to do things. I will have public messages and I will have subscriber-only messages. Saturday services continue. Um, and if you'd like more, then you can go to the patreon.com because that's where it lives with the full version. Those can run anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes long, but include a lot more details and information. For this week, I would like for us, this is the week of December 7th, Saturday the 7th. This is the start, or the end of one week and the beginning of another. The 8th will be the start of the week for me. Saturday, Sunday are ending and beginning. Saturn and the Sun. Um, there are three things that I would like to remind us of today. One, disconnect from the devices. Stop feeding so much into your mind through screens and social media. This is robbing you of your own creative resource and populating your mind. Someone else said colonizing your mind on this Jungian life with other people's information and advertisements. I'll put a link for that in the comments because that's a great podcast if you're into Jungian psychology or just good conversation on topics. Um, slow down. Everything is moving at a faster rate for us, whatever that means for you. However you celebrate the season, things are moving faster. Take the time to center and ground yourself and reconnect with you. We are in a wintertide in the northern hemisphere. This is a good time to rest. I think it's always a good time to rest during the holiday, any holiday season, because it's so busy. But it is a great time, especially as light diminishes and darkness grows. These are not moral things. These are just nature things. These are just cosmic things for us here on Earth. These are signals to our body to do less, in the world and engage more with our inner world, or even just rest, even just sleep, just allowing the restfulness to come through. These can all be great tools for you this week. I included a bunch of stones in the Patreon post, but I want to add that remember, you can use quartz crystal. It is an amplifier. You can use this by clearing it and then charging it with an intention to help you anchor and carry whatever energies you need at any time that you would like to do this. And with quartz crystals, you can clear them and recharge them for something else. If this can help you as a tool to disconnect from social media and reconnect with nature, with life, with each other, if this can help you to remind you to rest more, right? And to take the time that you need for yourself, and you can charge this for that with a very clear, concise intention for that, then do it. If the stones things is too much for you, then don't. And do whatever else serves and works for you in that. Our cards for this week are in three, and they are above, below, and between. And I put them that way because they are inspiration, motivation, and action, right? Inspiration, motivation, and action, right? That's the way that I sort of look at those things because that's the light of our higher self, the motivation of our lower self, and how it comes together with our personality, who we are and what we need to do with it. Um, the higher self card, this is the Seven of Swords. This is, the Eight of Swords. This is a reminder of the infinity of eight. Lots of things are in process. It's not necessarily going to come to completion right now. Try not to fold in on yourself. Look at the posture of the person in this card. This is from the Witch's Tarot. Tarot of the Old Path, sorry, Tarot of the Old Path. And not to get lost in the like this will never end and like the seeming infinity of any sort of suffering or waiting or any of those sorts of things. Instead, focus on what you can do at this time. That's the middle card. I'm going to get to it. What I want to focus on is the lower card at the moment. So this is a motivator. This is a reminder. For me, when I saw this, this is the 10 of Cups, that we're all really looking for connection and happiness, right? We're all looking for some kind of community where we belong, where our awareness is celebrated, right? But this is a motivation for everybody. We all come at it in different ways. And from your perspective, some people may do that in better or worse ways, right? And that I would like to say is it good for you or not? Is it healthy for you or is it not healthy for you? So this is really remembering the motivation of connection. Do you feel disconnected? Would you like to feel more connected? What is missing for you in that? And what can you do to cultivate that, to culture that for yourself? How do you culture connection for yourself? To do that in whatever way. I would really like to emphasize that this can be putting your feet in the ground, hugging a tree. Um, this can be looking at basic needs like it's funny, but I like to say it like, have you had enough water? Did you rest? Have you stretched? Did you poop? You know, all of the basic needs of things, when we don't acknowledge those, they can sort of rewire the way the rest of us are working because our basic needs are not met. And I understand we live in a system where a lot of people's basic needs have not been met, but doing some of the basic resets for our body, such as stretching, drinking, making sure we're fed, um, have we gone to the bathroom? All of those things um, are are acknowledging the needs of the body and frees up some excess energy that might be anxious or overly focused on the things that we don't have for ourselves. But ultimately, remember, a motivating force is the desire to connect. This is a loving connection. This is a community connection. And the card in between is if we're talking about processes and it's infinity, it's not going to happen yet. And we're talking about motivation, which is the desire to connect for each other, for ourselves to feel connected. What can we do in the middle? And this is really the Ace of Pentacles. I love that it has a hair. This is very fertile. This has got a lot of creative energy in it. And this says, plan for tomorrow. You'll notice in this card, if you look at it, there's a house in the distance, right? The table is in the garden. It's on the hill. It's like this is we're doing this creative thing out in the forest. We're painting these trees. We're painting this rabbit. Whatever it is that we're doing, that has the space, that has the restfulness, that has the creative imagination that's involved in it, that has the processing, right, of the other two cards. All of those things, you're feeling connected because you're in nature. You're feeling connected to your creative self because you're drawing. It's not to be like an artist or whatever, but it's basically this energy of planting a seed in the form of how do we take these other two cards, which are things are in process, they may not be complete, and our desire for connection is what can we do with that, which is how do we plan for that for later, for that next meeting, for that family gathering, for that trip, for that direction that we'd like to go, or for that thing we'd like to manifest tomorrow, right? Manifestation is not just a new thought thing, right? Like we all manifest. We're creative beings. We create stuff. We make stuff out of nothing. We take ideas and we put things together and we make stuff, right? The Ace of Pentacles is about making stuff. It's about planting something. It's about starting something. It's about the project for tomorrow. The house in the distance of this also says we're planting this for that. We're building this for that, right? So look at what can I do with my energy right now, right? Is tap into my creativity, be a little less doomy, disconnect from social media, which is robbing me of my creative potential, focus on connection, and how do I just sort of sketch out what I need? How do I creatively or how do I creatively detail that for myself so I can say, this is what I really want. This is where I'd want to do. When you have an idea, when you've crystallized an idea in your mind, when you've settled that into your heart, you've started a manifestation process because you've created a very clear intention. And that's what I'd look at this week. Disconnect from device, social media, It's rampant with advertisement and influence to try to get you to do things. It's populating your mind in a way that's robbing you of your creative imagination. Focus on your connection. Focus on what it is that you really need to connect with. Um, Create more space for silences, create pauses, and start working even if it was just a sentence, even if it's just a collage, even if it's just a sketch, a conversation where you put down some notes for yourself about what it is that you'd like to manifest for tomorrow, what you'd like to see at the end of the road of whatever it is that you're planning for yourself, because I don't know what that is for you, whoever's watching this. And that would be the best place to work with the energies of this week. Got a couple of retrogrades happening, got lots of astrological stuff happening. If that's something you follow, take this information and add that to those puzzle pieces and get a bigger picture about what's happening for you. If you'd like to pull your own cards and lay them on top of these and see what that message would be that's more personal for you, you should do that. Cast your runes, pull from your bag, like whatever it is that you do, add to it, right? These are all pieces of connection, and the more that we have, sometimes too much is too much, right? But drawing from your sources and putting this information together for yourself is really a keen thing to do. I'm Scott Smith. The full reading for this is on patreon.com/Scott K. Smith. That is now um, for patrons only, so you'd have to subscribe to get that. You can also get readings and healings and other things from me at starandstonellc.com, where, hey, you know what? I have a book out. It's called Reiki Spirit. It is an inspirational piece that I did for my Reiki Master teachers and for myself to write my own manual for Reiki 1 practitioners, which includes some witchy things as well. I have signed author copies of that, and you can find a link for that on my website, starandstonellc.com. I ship domestically into Canada. Um, yeah, I think that's all for today. So that's our YouTube Saturday service. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be, and take time for you. Okay.